Rob, your audio is connecting. Claire, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Sorry. Okay, so from starting the season the way you did to falling in the ACC championship to knocking the host a regional, giving up 21 runs the first game, it seems like everyone counted out this team except for you. Was there ever any doubt that you would be in this position at this time of the season?
Well, there's always doubt. I mean, college baseball is extremely competitive now and tough. Everybody's good. Our league's good. The non-conference schedule we play is really good. And so there's always doubt. But what you knew you had was a group of players committed to one another and committed to themselves and had a great work ethic, great character people. And people like that have a chance of overcoming odds. And that's what these guys did. It wasn't a guarantee, but the only guarantee is if you didn't stick with it, that you wouldn't overcome it. So just really happy for these guys and really proud of these guys.
Alec?
Yeah, Coach, you've talked a lot this year about just how special this team has been and how impressed you've been with this group. I mean, just how great is it, to see them clinch that trip to Omaha, especially to do it the way they did with Jose's home run and then Evan Justice, just shutting the door as he's done all year.
I thought yesterday's game, a lot of people talked about it, what a gut check win yesterday was with them, beating us so badly on Friday and then come out here in front of this crowd and this great Arkansas team and being up 6-2, but they come back and make it 6-5 in the seventh. They bring Cops in, and it seems like every time they bring Cops in, it does something for their offense, and they're able to come back and win the game, which goes to his incredible record and saves. But I thought today may have been even a better gut check win because Cops starts, pitches incredible. He's absolutely everything that you've heard about. Sometimes you don't get what they prescribe, but he is everything and then some of what you've heard about. And he was incredible, but to have a thin 2-1 lead and think you have a chance with the way our pitching was going, and then Wallace ties it up there in the seventh, then that was a real gut check, I thought. And I thought the last two innings showed everything that we have seen about our team all season long.
Andrew?
Elliott, obviously you've been to the College World Series once before in 2013, and obviously with the wait since then to get back to there, how hard it is to get there. Can you just speak to what it means to you to get back to Omaha and to see everything that this group has fought through this year, to see them get rewarded with a trip there?
Yeah, you're exactly right. And when you go to Omaha, there's always a reason, that's special to you. Besides the players, which is always first and foremost, it's all about the players. The school gets a lot out of it. The staff gets a lot out of it. And we have an incredible staff. Our coaching staff, Chris Hart, who's been with me for like 17 years, Gabe Button, our strength coach, Jody Cahoon, our equipment manager, Scott Insel, Clint Chrysler, our pitching coach, Joey Holcomb, Brett Kinnaman and Josh Pike and those guys. They do an unbelievable job. It's incredible what they do, okay? But it's always about special for the players. I remember the first time I went there, as special it was for the players, it was so special for me to have my daddy with me. And that was a special moment for me. And so I'm so happy for these players. My thoughts during today's game, this whole weekend, is I want to see these players. They deserve to walk in that stadium and me see their eyes and their looks and their faces to be in the greatest college baseball environment there is. But and this time I'll have my daddy with me, but he'll be in a different place. I've got a keychain that he left me that I keep with me, is Matthew 28:20, I believe. He is always with you. And my daddy is always with me, and he'll be watching from a different place this time, but it'll be special again for me. But to me, it's all about the players. It's all about seeing these players who have worked so hard and committed to one another and understand how you can overcome adversity, which will help them the rest of their life. To me, it's about those guys walking in that stadium.
Casey?
Hi, Elliott. I was actually going to ask about your father, but so I won't dwell on that. Instead, you have yet another freshman pitcher on the mound today, giving up that run early. What does that say about, you've got a pair of freshman pitchers that can keep their composure in one of the greatest places with, that crowd, that the way they were playing in that.
Yeah, these guys have grown up so much. I think Matt Willison has grown up maybe more than anybody on this staff. He and Chris Phillipman both. They, if you take where they were mid-year, which was good, and where they are now, they're two entirely different pitchers. And for Matt to get in two big jams with this crowd and this great Arkansas ball club, I think you got to have a bases loaded 2-out jam on the first or second 2-out jam with this crowd going absolutely crazy. Really proud of him. And then I thought Chris Phillipman came in and pitched extremely, extremely well. I generally don't bring Evan Justice into a tie game, but I thought if this team is going to beat us, they're going to beat our best. And thank goodness Jose hit that home run, because I don't know how long we could have gone with Evan. But anyway, that's all I got.
Christopher.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on beating a very good Arkansas squad tonight. What was it like for you guys taking on their best pitcher and beating him in his own ballpark, and basically you guys moving on to Omaha?
You don't really beat a guy like Kevin Kopps. You might outlast him, but I'm not going to say anything about beating Kevin Kopps, because that's one of the great pitchers. I've been around this game a long time. That's one of the great pitchers and one of the great performances that I've ever seen. He is everything is advertised. And so it's just, you don't beat guys like him. You might scratch one out, and just proud of our guys. But if you look at what he did, he's been in relief all year. He starts, and I think that's very difficult to go from being a reliever and then to start a game. That's a whole different, thing. And I just thought he was amazing. So just proud of our team to find a way to keep this great Arkansas offensive club down just to give us a chance.
And I want to have a follow-up real quick. Torres, talk about that home run. It looked like he golfed it, or was he looking for a curveball or a fastball? Everybody lost it in TV. I couldn't see it until it went right into the sun.
You have to ask him. He hit that one pretty good. The first one, he kind of golfed and hit it foul, and I think that might have had the distance. But the wind was doing different things today.
Okay.
The ball was flying early in the weekend, and today when the game started, the wind was blowing in, and there was a couple balls. Like Johnny hit one I thought might go out to center in the first inning, but and then it got still for a little bit, and then it kind of shifted over from left to right. But you'd have to ask Jose what he hit. All I know is he hit it really well.
Rob.
Yeah, Elliott, I want to piggyback off one of the other questions. You have freshman pitcher on Saturday, 2 freshman pitchers today. What does that say about the kids you're bringing into the program, you, Chris Hart, and those guys?
Chris Hart, you can start with him. Get some water, John. He does an unbelievable job recruiting, helped by our entire staff, Coach Chrysler, Joey Holcomb. Joey Holcomb's a volunteer, and you see what college baseball generates as far as the excitement. This packed house at Arkansas for 3 days. What we saw in Louisiana Tech last weekend in Ruston, Louisiana, and Joey Holcomb's our volunteer assistant, which means he gets paid nothing. Our staff does an unbelievable job, and I just hope that they'll come around and get this third assistant going, because recruiting is tough right now. This transfer portal is going to make it even more consuming, but Coach Hart and Clint Chrysler work themselves tirelessly all the time recruiting, and I can't say enough about the job they've done, not only to bring the talent they brought into NC State, but the character of people they brought into NC State. And even though we're very talented, character is what got us to the next round.
You mentioned your father. Also, there are guys like Bruce, who was your SID, Chris Combs. Those guys, it's almost, I don't want to say it's a burden, but it is a responsibility when you consider the work they put in. How much does it mean to you to succeed building off what they've done?
Oh, yeah, this has been a difficult couple of years for me. You mentioned them all. Bruce Winkworth, my longtime SID, who was more than an SID to me. He was my bench coach and a great, great friend. And then Chris Combs, who was on my first team at NC State, who I love dearly. And George Tarantini, the longtime NC State soccer coach, who was so successful and just a mentor of mine and one of my best friends in life. And then obviously with my dad, this spring, that was a tough, went through a rough patch, but so happy right now.
And finally for me, sir, you did the slide there at the end. How long is it going to take you to recoup from that little slide you did in front of your team there for the photo. It's been a long time probably since you made a slide like that.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take long to recuperate because it's like a 3-foot slide. I think I more got stuck than I don't think it resembled Pete Rose whatsoever.
Thank you, sir.
Tim.
Hey, Coach, it's Tim Peeler. I'm actually sitting here on the couch that Bruce gave me, and
Fitting.
You're the most passionate and emotional person on NC State's campus, and you've been through all of those. You've talked about it so many times, but how physically, emotionally, mentally challenging, difficult has this been up to this point? And I know it won't take you long to recharge to get to Omaha, but can you just talk about what you've been through in all of those stages, positive, negative, everything?
It has, but I've been so fortunate in my lifetime to be around so many great people, and those people, and besides my mom and dad, would shape who all these young men are, and it shaped who I am. But when I've been around some of the great coaches, I've been around. You can start with Tony Guzzo, who gave me my first job, and I love that man to death. He is like a legend in our business. But then you talk about Russ Frazier, the longtime coach at Lewisburg Junior College and Hall of Famer, and then you come to NC State and you talk about Coach Esposito, who is so many things to so many people. Buddy Green flew down here this week to be with us. We talked to Monty Towle this morning, Greg Williams, David Thompson, all the people that are NC State. And so I've been so fortunate to be around those people. And then you mentioned passion. You got to talk about Jimmy Valvano and K-Al. And I was so fortunate to be around both of those for a long time. And I learned so much from both of them. And they shape how you coach through your life. And I owe all of them a debt of gratitude, because anything I try to say to my players or talk to them about has been learned from those great coaches of yesteryear.
50.
Coach, congratulations, my friend. I've got a baseball question for you. You know, we can talk about cops all we want, but Arkansas is one of the best offenses in the country. I'm just curious how the heck you guys were able to contain that offense the way you did the last 2 days. What was the game plan, and how did you guys execute it?
You'd have to talk to Coach Chrysler about that. He does an amazing job with these pitchers. He has all year. He got beset by injuries early in the year. Some guys missed the all season with some COVID, and so they couldn't come back ready to go. And he just kept working and kept working. He has such a great rapport with these pitchers. He's kind of like almost, I don't want to say the perfect pitching coach, but has a great makeup. He pitched I think 9 years in pro ball all the way up to AAA. So he's been around the block a little bit. These guys can relate to him. They trust him. And he's just done an amazing job. And like you said, to pitch as well as we did against this great Arkansas ball club is just a tribute to him and our pitching staff.
Last one, Hutch.
Yeah, Coach, I was just wondering, what was your reaction when Kevin Kopps jogged out there to the mound, in the ninth inning after already throwing, I think, 113, 114 pitches?
I didn't expect anything different. I didn't even look, to be honest with you. So I didn't even look.
All right, that'll wrap us up. Thanks, Coach Avent.